What's up, Timmons here. Here is my throwback segment where I talk about the films that turns 10, 20, 30, and 40 this week. Alright, the films celebrating their 10th anniversary. Oh, we got some good ones here. We got, why I gotta say this M. Night Shyamalan's comeback film. That is The Visit. I mentioned this before. Like, M. Night Shyamalan's career before The Visit, wasn't, like, in the past, 5 years before The Visit, wasn't the best. He did, like, schluck like Last Airbender, The Happening, After Earth. And then, of course, when that trailer, Devil, was released, loads of people, when it said M. Night Shyamalan's name on it, loads of people was all laughing or whatever. But then came The Visit. And I remember, at the time, I wasn't really all that excited for it because, well, M. Night Shyamalan's he is a guy who gave us The Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, and whatever. But his career before The Visit wasn't the best. And so I saw The Visit back in 2015. It just made, to me, it is one of his comeback films. And of course, he will go on to give us like Split, Glass. I was not a fan of Old. Say what you want about Trap. You can't deny at least Trap is better than some of his better films before. If you guys don't know much about The Visit, it starred Ed Oxenbould and Olivia DeJonge, who of course will go on to also star in that little Christmas horror movie Better Watch Out. Here, of course, they play siblings who go to stay with their estranged grandparents, and of course they notice like their grandparents are behaving bizarrely, and they set out to find the truth about the strange circumstances. And The Visit is great. I mean, it is really creepy throughout. If you want to see creepy old people, The Visit's definitely one for the books. It's really good. I mean, the two leads in this is great. Catherine Hahn, plays their mother. She doesn't really have much to do with this, but she's great. The older actors are pretty good in this. If you guys never seen The Visit, do yourself a favor. Go watch The Visit. It's really good. And by the way, the kid also does like a little rap scene in the beginning. That could go freestyle. But anyway. Also turning 10 is The Perfect Guy, which stars Sanaa Lathan, Morris Chestnut, Mike Ealy. This is, of course, one of those, obsession type movies that, obviously there was the Beyonce movie Obsession. There was, what was that? The Cradle Will. What's that? Hand That Rocks Cradle. When the Bow Breaks one. Like, they were trying to always do, like, lots of these, black-lit obsession type movies. Of course, this movie, starred Sanaa Lathan as a single woman who falls in love with a man who harbors, like, an obsession after she breaks up with him. And Michael Ealy is creepy in this. I mean, he really plays his part very well. Sanaa Lathan, by the way, Sanaa Lathan always looks amazing. She's terrific in this. I mean, crazy twists and turns around. It is a really decent one. I mean, really creepy. Anyway. Alright, also turning 10 on more smaller fare type films. Like, we got the movie Time Out of Mind, which stars Richard Gere, Jenna Malone, Ben Vereen, where a homeless man bonds with a new friend, played by Ben Vereen, at New York's Bellevue Hospital while trying to repair his relationship with his daughter, played by Jenna Malone. This is actually a really good little film. Of course, probably one of Richard Gere's better performances. I still remember when Richard Gere was filming this movie. Loads of people did not even knew Richard Gere really had a little method acting when he did this because he was actually acting that he was really homeless and not hardly no one in the streets knew that was Richard Gere. Could you imagine seeing a homeless guy, right? Just seeing a regular homeless guy on the street and not even knowing that's a guy from Pretty Woman. Could you imagine that? But talk about method acting right there. I mean, Richard Gere is always great. Whether you talk about A League of Their Own, not A League of Their Own, the Deborah Winger one, the classic Deborah Winger. Not League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Dang, what was the name of the? Boy, I can't believe I forgot the name of that one. I'm gonna kick myself for not knowing this one. Officer and Gentleman. Why do you keep calling it the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? Well, anyway. Or Pretty Woman. I mean, the guy's always great. Who doesn't love Richie Gere, right? All right. Also turning 10 is Sleeping with Other People, which was of course directed by the actress who recently directed episodes who recently did The Acolyte. She also did Bachelorette and more, and that show what you call not Poker Face, the Natasha Lyonne Russian doll series. Sleeping with Other People, of course, stars Jason Sudeikis, Alison Brie, Adam Scott, Natasha Lyonne, Billy Eichner, many others. And it's, of course, where like a one night stand, a man played by Sudeikis and a woman runs into each other, trying to maintain a platonic relationship. Here, and it's a really nice little charming film. The chemistry between Sudeikis and Brie is really decent. I mean, it's a really decent one, worth giving a go there. All right, films turning 20 this week is we of course got The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Of course, this is actually based on a book of the same name, or The Exorcism of Annalise, I should say. And it's directed by Scott Derrickson, who will obviously go on to direct Sinister, The Black Phone, Doctor Strange. And this stars Laura Linney and follows a self-proclaimed uh, agnostic, played by Linney, who acts as a defense counsel representing a heinous priest, played by Tom Wilkinson, accused of homicide after performing an exorcism. And this is a really creepy one. Really great performance by Laura Linney. Probably one of Scott Derrickson's better horror films until Black Phone came around. It's a really decent exorcism film worth giving a go there. We also got The Man. Now, The Man is the action comedy that stars Samuel Jackson teaming up with Eugene Levy, where Special Agent Derek Van is a man who is about to get the man who kills his partner, but a case of mistaken identity leads him to Andy Fiddler, a salesman with too many questions here. And the chemistry between Sam Jackson and Eugene Levy is really fun. Check out not Hopkins. Anthony Mackie is also in this. Luke Goss. It is a hilarious one, worth giving a go. I mean, they really like Jackson and Levy really both play off each other very well here. That's a team up you never knew you needed. All right, also turning 20 is the An Unfinished Life, which is of course directed by Lassie Holstrom, starring Morgan Freeman, Jennifer Lopez, Robert Redford, and it's the story of a gruff Wyoming rancher who must rekindle his relationship with his struggling daughter-in-law, played by Lopez. You also have like Morgan Freeman. It is a really heartfelt, charming film. Redford's great. Lopez is terrific. Freeman's really good in the very slow at times, but the performances picks up really well. All right, film turning 30 this week. A film that probably won't really get made today, but Chu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar, starring Wesley Snipes, Patrick Swayze, John Leguizamo. And of course, it stars like Snipes, Swayze, and Leguizamo as three New York drag queens who embark on a road trip. And its title refers to the iconic autograph photo of Julie Newmar that they pretty much carry with them on their journey. And Newmar even also has a cameo appearance. Chu Wong Fu is great. Really hilarious. I mean, seeing like Patrick Swayze, Wesley Snipes, and John Leguizamo in drags was something you never knew you needed. Sadly, if this movie was released today, so many homophobe, transphobe people will be calling this thing woke and will be saying, and will be just saying, go woke, go broke, whatever, because that's how small-minded they are. But Chu Wong Fu is still a really good one. Definitely hilarious. I mean, if you guys never seen Chu Wong Fu, definitely give that one a go. Alright, also turning 30 is National Lampoon's Senior Trip, which is actually I believe the acting debut of Jeremy Renner, if I'm not mistaken. You also had like Tommy Chong, famed voice actress Tara Strong's in this, and it's where like a scheming center uses nitwit Ohio teens who are invited to Washington's gathering on an educational failure. Now, of course, this was one of the like few other National Lampoon films. Obviously, going way back to Animal House, to Vacation, and all. This was another film that used the National Lampoon title in it, and it's a pretty funny one. A very young Jeremy Renner, like in his breakout role, was pretty interesting. I mean, that guy looks like he could have a bow and arrow in the future. So not a bad one, to say at least there. All right. Also turning 30 is The Tide That Buys, which is a psychological thriller that stars Daryl Hannah, Vincent Spano, and follows a couple who have just adopted a 6-year-old girl, only to discover that her biological parents are trying to reclaim her. It is a really interesting psychological thriller worth giving a go. Daryl Hannah's great, Keith Carradine, uh, lots of crazy twists and turns around. Really decent little 90s thriller. Alright, also turning 40 this week is the Martin Scorsese classic After Hours. Now, of course, an office worker. It stars Griffin Dunn as an office worker who like experiences a series of misadventures while attempting to make his way home to Manhattan's Soul District during the night. And of course, the movie that just got released, Caught Stealing. Darren Aronofsky actually mentioned that the movie Caught Stealing is pretty much inspired by After Hours, which, funny enough, Griffin Dunn has a little cameo in Caught Stealing, so makes sense there. But After Hours is a really good one. Definitely, like maybe not one of Scorsese's best works, something like that. But I still always thought the movie was really decent. Of course, like you had, Rosanna Arquette, John Hurd, the aforementioned Tommy Chong, Cheech Marin is also in this. Uh, it is a really interesting one. Griffin Dunn, like, obviously, of course, he was more known for American Werewolf in London fame at the time. And he was really good in this one, so these are there. Alright, also turning 40 is Agnes of God, which is directed by Moonstruck director Norman Jewison, starring Jane Fonda and Bancroft Meg Tilly. And it's about a novice nun, played by Tilly, who gives birth and insists that the dead child was a result of a virginal conception. And of course, you got like Bancroft, Jane Fonda. It's a really interesting cast members here. It's not really Jewison's best work, nothing like that, but it's an interesting 80s mystery film that is well worth a watch there. Jane Fonda's great, and Bancroft is terrific. Really decent film, say at least there. But that's pretty much it. Let me let you guys, which of these films stand out to you the most? To me, the 10-year one is going to The Visit. The 20-year one is going to The Exorcism of Emily Rose. The 30-year one is To Wong Fu, and the 4-year one is After Hours. Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Suicide.